Hello and welcome back everyone to the video series dedicated show on MTV that thinks that TJ smells good. That's right, we're talking about The Challenge All-Stars Rivals, aka The Challenge All-Stars 5 episode 10, and we have done it. We have gotten to a point where we have locked in the 4 teams that are going to be eligible to run TJ's final. But before we can talk about them, let's start off where last episode left off. And that was Melissa and Nicole winning against Veronica and Katie and being able to steal anybody's star, and they steal Turbo and Nany's. When this episode begins, Sam is on the grill, everybody is chilling, relaxing, except for Nany and Turbo, who cannot stand everybody in this house. Now everybody's acting like everything is all nice and dandy. Well, it's not for Nany and Turbo, who are feeling like there's a possibility they could be iced out of the next elimination, that they may not have a chance of getting the star back. Of why the house would want to vote in 2 star holders in against each other, what would happen to that phantom star that's just out there from the players that would be eliminated? Do we even really need to worry about that? No, but we'll put a pin in that as we see Devon get a phone call from back home from her daughter. Now this sent red alarms in my brain thinking, okay, something's going to happen with Devon. Do they win the daily challenge? Could they be sent into the elimination, possibly going home right before the final? I was nervous for Devon and Shane for the entirety of this episode, but now everybody dons their challenge gear, heads down to meet up with TJ for this week's daily challenge in the woods called Pressure Sandwich. In this daily challenge, the teams are going to have to run through the woods, collect 10 puzzle pieces, and get them to their puzzle station. Doesn't seem too difficult, except for the way they want them to carry their puzzle pieces around. The team members are going to have to make a pressure sandwich with the puzzle pieces between each other and travel with them through the entirety of the woods to get to their puzzle station. If they drop them, they have to go back to the last safety spot, regroup, and then try to carry them back again. The first team to transfer their 10 puzzle pieces to their puzzle station and solve their pole puzzle will win into power, win into safety, and, as we'll find out, lock in their spot to this season's final. Pressure Sandwich, outside of the name, I thought was a really good daily challenge. I thought it was simple enough, but very straightforward, very difficult, especially having to maneuver around not only the trees, the woods, but also all of the teams dropping their puzzle pieces. I also thought this daily challenge did a great job at shining a light on which teams communicate well and have good teamwork, and those who did not do so well, like Nicole and Melissa. They were dropping their puzzle pieces when they had only 4. They were struggling all throughout these woods over and over and over again. They at least got to their puzzle station, but they got there in last place. Adam and Steve got off to an early lead. They were rushing through everything until they got to 8 puzzle pieces, and that's where things really started to jumble up on them. They weren't putting enough pressure. They had multiple drops, the same with Turbo and Nany. Talk about pressure sandwich. These two felt the pressure the most out of everybody. Yes, the other 4 teams should want to win to be safe, to keep their stars safe this late in the game with the final right around the corner, but Turbo and Nany are the only team without a star. They need to win to hold their fate in their own hands, to send themselves into the elimination against whoever the house vote is. So I felt that Nany and Turbo had a great chance of possibly winning this daily challenge, but I feel like the pressure was mounting towards both of them. Devon and Shane are a team that I really want to hone in on this daily breakdown, because what happens here really affects the rest of the episode and how they interact with each other, because as I mentioned, this is a daily challenge about communication and teamwork. Devon and Shane look to have a lot of difficulties with each other. Well, being loud and aggressive was turned up to like an 11 and 12 for this daily challenge. I understand that Shane and Devon are 2 players who have yet to make a final in their challenge career up to this point. So I wonder if that pressure also played into this. With all that pressure and possible paranoia, it sounds like from a lot of people and their reactions on this episode, it sounded a bit toxic. The level of tone and how you say things can also be too much. Even though Shane says that what I said wasn't terrible, it is the way that he said it, and it just came off really, really bad in this episode, as Shane and Devon just seemed like they were butting heads the entire time, and it would lead to possibly Davon and Shane questioning if they want to stay in the game. If you think that the pressure of winning the last daily challenge right before the final is pressure, think about having to actually run a final. What you hear now, it's going to be amplified. And it's going to be way worse. So they were a complete mess, and the exact opposite of a mess is Frank and Sam. They were working so well with each other, they were communicating, they were slow and steady, they had a good pace, they didn't rush, they didn't drop a single puzzle piece on their way to their puzzle station. They put their puzzle together, and they were deemed the winners, except for, I just want to say, maybe it was fixed, but when Frank put the last puzzle piece on top, it did seem like he put it upside down. I wonder if somebody did mention it to them and they fixed it and then they blew the horn and declared them the winner. I don't know. Maybe it was cut from the episode. It just seemed weird that their top piece looked upside down with the snake head coming down onto the body. At the end of the daily challenge, when trying to gather everybody up, Shane tries to step up next to Davon, where Adam says that he put his hand on Shane's back so that way he didn't fall back. Shane says that Adam grabbed him and pulled him up. This started a full ruckus between Adam and Shane, where Shane had to walk off, be by himself. Everybody feels like Shane is off in this moment. Now we'll hear back at the challenge house that Shane felt like he was seeing black, that he wasn't feeling well, and feeling the pull up from Adam really just set him off, when Adam is saying that I didn't do that at all. And we also hear when Shane was walking off, Adam confront Shane about his treatment to Davon and how he spoke to her. As mentioned, back at the challenge house, Nany is talking to everybody saying, we want to go in, me and Turbo want to go in, can we be the house vote? We just want a chance and an opportunity to go up against anybody in the house. It could be Adam and Steve, I don't care, I just want to have a chance and an opportunity to get my star back. We go to the bar where we hear Turbo and why he loves animals in his book of Turbo-isms, saying that fish are fish, whereas with humans, they can be anything. They can be snakes, they can be nice, but realistically, animals are pure, which, can I just say, that's pretty profound. We do have a moment between Adam and Steve where Adam asks Steve, why did you steal my star last season? And Adam wanted an explanation and an apology. And I love Steve being like, look, to apologize means that I would take back what I did. And I wouldn't. They chalk it up to, if Steve never did it, they wouldn't be here right now in this moment, and maybe it'll all work out for them moving forward. Then we move on to a conversation with Davon talking to Frank about Shane and how he has an obsession of wanting to be more of a villain on a reality TV show than be a good partner. She's having this conversation right next to Shane. Shane can hear everything she is saying. Upon hearing what Davon is saying, he gets up, goes to talk to production, and pretty much says that he does not want to be in the game, that Davon is hurting his character and his integrity, that she would think this low of him, that he would want to yell at Davon to be more of a villain on a reality TV show than actually wanting to win and be the team to win. This seemed like a serious moment because we got to see actual production and like camera people. Unfortunately, it just feels like it wasn't that serious. I'm sure that there was tensions in the moment, but the way that we have these moments, the Davon raising her hand in last episode's elimination being like, what if we don't agree? And then it was a huge joke, and then Shane is talking about wanting to pack up and quit the game, and then in the next instant, yes, he's packing his bags, but then they have this like real heart-to-heart, and Davon's like, were you really going to pack up your bags and leave? And Shane's like, well, makes for good TV. So those comments kind of make me feel like it wasn't serious. I do think that it was kind of pumped up for camera purposes. We have this big awkward moment with Melissa and Nicole where they are in the gym together doing some team bonding, kind of. They are very touchy-feely with each other, and then they do this like joint phone call back home with Nicole's girlfriend. It's awkward as all get out, but we get to the house vote, and Nany pulls a Melissa and Nicole from last week and is like, we would like to volunteer to go in. They vote for themselves. Everybody else votes for Turbo and Nany. I love that the show is like, what could Frank and Sam do? We got Sam in a confessional being like, well, Frank did make a deal with Adam and Steve 1 week. And it's like, no, come on now. Are we serious? Frank was the person that pushed for Adam and Steve to be sent in over and over and over and over and over again. And we're so close to the final. everybody can pretty much guess that this is the final elimination. Frank is not going to have this like sort of epiphany being like, well, I did promise Adam and Steve that I wouldn't send. Come on now. We all knew what was coming. I kind of got ahead of myself. We go to the arena where Nany and Turbo join TJ on the arena floor, and Frank and Sam throw in Adam and Steve. We have Turbo and Nany versus Adam and Steve in this week's elimination called Star Bluff. Star Bluff is played in 2 phases. In phase 1, the teams will sit across from each other at this table where there are 2 chests, one in front of each team. One team will get to see what's in their chest. It's either empty or has a star in it. Then the other team will ask them questions, and they'll try to decipher from those questions or how the other team is acting of whether the star is in their chest or the other team's chest. Get it correct, and you will have one less ball in phase 2, where the teams are going to have to use giant chopsticks to transfer yoga balls from one side of the arena to another and putting all the balls in this pin. The first team to transfer all their balls into their pin will win. To be honest, I did not understand this or how each phase kind of worked with each other. I feel like they saw this phase 1 portion of the 2 chests and where has been played on tons of other reality TV shows. Quickly, each round starts to turn into lunacy, more so on Adam and Steve's side. I get it, that is a strategy to like giggle and laugh and just not answer the questions and waste time, as they have like 2 or 3 minutes to ask as many questions as possible to try to decipher if the star is in the chest or not. Nany and Turbo were trying to be more focused and hone in on the questions, whereas Adam and Steve were kind of lunatics in this. It did seem like phase 1 was laughing and jokes for everybody, but as a viewer, I did not find it very fun or exciting. It just felt like gibberish and a whole bunch of nonsense. Even I feel like the show had trouble editing this to make it make sense, because they just started cutting up a lot of things. Nany at one point was like, why are we even asking questions? Can I just guess right off the bat? I think they tried with phase 1 to make it more strategic, but I think it just fell flat. In my opinion, it just wasn't fun. The strategy just wasn't there. They didn't take it seriously, which they can play all these games how they want, and it worked out for Adam and Steve as they had one less ball than Nany and Turbo. But in saying that, in phase 2, Adam and Steve have to transfer 11 yoga balls, while Turbo and Nany have to transfer 12. Nany and Turbo tried to run as fast as possible because they did have one more yoga ball than Adam and Steve, but because they were rushing, they made some crucial mistakes where then Adam and Steve were just a bit more careful and cautious and just steady, and they were able to easily win this elimination over Turbo and Nany. So Adam and Steve win their 5th elimination of the season. They have locked in their spot to the final, where Turbo and Nany were eliminated right before the final. The 4 teams that will be running in this season's final is Adam and Steve, Davon and Shane, Frank and Sam, and Melissa and Nicole. Going back over the performances in my mind of who is going to be in these finals, I just feel like this season's final is Adam and Steve's to lose. They're going to have to falter in a big way. They're going to have a communication breakdown. They're going to have a breakdown in general, because Melissa and Nicole really haven't done anything this season. Davon and Shane won when they needed to, but really haven't done much of anything else past that. And then Frank and Sam have won specific daily challenges, but comparatively to Adam and Steve winning multiple dailies, being very competitive in multiple dailies, winning 5 eliminations. I don't know. I hope for a fun final. I hope for a final where it's going to be close, that could be nail biting. I'm sure that we're going to get something kind of similar. It seems like it's going to be more physical than All-Stars 4, which was more a bunch of carnival games until the very last phase. And if that's the case, if it's going to be a more physical, endurance-based final, I just feel like it's tipping the scales over to Adam and Steve. But what do you think? Let me know down in the comment section below. What do you think about this week's daily challenge? What did you think about this week's elimination? What did you think about Star Bluff? Did you like phase 1 with the chest and which one had the star and which one didn't have the star? What do you think about Turbo and Nany being eliminated right before the final? And what do you think about these 4 teams heading into the final? Do you think that Adam and Steve are a heavy favorite, or do you think maybe that Davon and Shane could work on their communication skills and pull off a win in their first final appearances each? Can Frank and Sam be each other's lucky charms and win another challenge final together? And what do you think about Melissa and Nicole in this final? Do you think that they have a chance, that they are maybe looked at as an underdog? What percentage chance do you think they have of winning the final? What do you think is the percentage chance of all of these teams possibly winning the final? Let me know anything and everything down in the comments section below. And I want to give a special shout out thank you to everyone who supports me over at patreon.com/angelcakebids. Thank you for your support. Thank you for your generosity. Thank you. And thank you to everyone who's watching this video up to this point. I'll be back really soon with more Challenge All-Stars Rivals, more challenge content, more content in general. But until then, peace.